Assalamu alaikum. How is your heart today? Really, what if I told you there is a way to call Allah that changes everything, not just words, but a connection you can feel in your soul? A man once discovered this truth, and he chose silence over revealing it. Before we go deeper, if your heart is searching, subscribe, because this might be what you've been waiting for. Have you ever called Allah and felt like nothing changed? You whispered, you cried, but the silence stayed the same. Maybe you think Allah is far from you, but what if the distance is not from Allah, but from understanding? We repeat words without feeling their weight, and still wonder why our hearts don't change. Maybe the problem was never the prayer. Maybe it was the way we were calling. In Islamic history, there was a man who was not like others. His name was Ibn Arabi, a seeker who went deeper than words. He didn't just study knowledge, he lived inside its mysteries. It is said, he reached understandings most people could not even imagine. Where others saw words, he saw doors. Where others stopped, he kept going. But the deeper he went, the more silent he became. Until one discovery changed everything. Now listen carefully, because this is where most people misunderstand everything. When we say Ibn Arabi discovered Allah's secret name, it is not about a hidden word that was written somewhere and then kept away from the world. It is something far deeper, something that cannot be captured in letters alone. He understood a reality that most people never reach in their lifetime, that the names of Allah are not just words we repeat with our tongues. They are states that awaken inside the heart. You can say Ya Rahman 1,000 times, but if your heart is distracted, broken, or empty of presence, you may only be speaking the word, not living its meaning. And this is where the secret begins. The deeper understanding attributed to scholars like Ibn Arabi is this: every name of Allah is like a door, but the key is not the sound of the name. The key is the condition of your heart when you call upon Him. That is why two people can say the same dhikr, yet one feels nothing, while the other feels their entire being shaken. Not because Allah is closer to one and far from the other, but because one is present, and the other is absent. So the secret name is not a hidden word. It is the realization that every name of Allah becomes alive only when the heart becomes alive. And this is what changes everything. Because once a person understands this, they stop chasing shortcuts. They stop repeating words like a habit. And they start transforming their inner state before they speak. That is why it is said that some knowledge is not meant to be simply told. Because if people hear it without understanding, they will try to copy it. But if they feel it, it will change them completely. And maybe that is why silence was chosen. This is the part most people misunderstand, and also the part that holds the deepest lesson. Why would a scholar like Ibn Arabi remain silent after reaching such deep understanding? Was it fear? Was it secrecy? Or was it something far more profound? The truth is, not every realization is meant to become public knowledge in the way we expect. Some truths are not dangerous because they are hidden. They are dangerous because they are misunderstood. Imagine giving a key to someone who has never seen a door. They will not use it to open anything. They will use it to question everything. This is why silence sometimes becomes a form of mercy. Because when a person hears something deep without being ready for it, they don't transform. They imitate. They copy words, but not states. They repeat phrases, but not presence. They perform spirituality without living it. And that creates illusion instead of transformation. In the spiritual path, especially in Sufi understanding, knowledge is not just information, it is weight. It changes the one who carries it. So the deeper a person goes, the more they realize something unexpected. Not everything should be spoken, because not every listener is in the same place. Some hearts are searching, some hearts are sleeping, and some hearts are only curious. If a truth lands in the wrong state of heart, it does not elevate, it confuses. And confusion can become pride, argument, or even misguidance. So silence is not always hiding. Sometimes silence is protection of the message and protection of the listener. It is said that real wisdom is not only knowing what to say, but also knowing what not to say, when to say it, and to whom it should reach. And perhaps this is why Ibn Arabi's silence is remembered more than his words in this context, because it teaches something very important, that spirituality is not about revealing everything you know. It is about becoming someone who can carry what they know without distortion. And maybe that is the real secret. Not a hidden name, but a hidden readiness. Now, this is not just a story anymore. This is about you. Because deep inside, every person watching this has felt it at some point. That moment when you raised your hands and your heart felt heavy. That moment when you said, Ya Allah, but didn't feel the answer. That moment when you wondered, am I even being heard? Listen carefully. It was never about Allah being far from you. It was about what was happening inside you while you were calling Him. We think the strongest connection comes from repeating more words, longer prayers, louder emotions. But sometimes, the real connection begins when everything becomes still. Not louder, but deeper. Not more, but more present. Because when the heart is distracted, even the most beautiful words feel empty. But when the heart is present, even a whisper becomes powerful. This is what people miss when they hear stories about scholars like Ibn Arabi. They think spirituality is something external, something hidden somewhere, something only special people can access. But the truth is, it was always within reach. The real barrier is not distance, it is awareness. You are not being asked to become someone else. You are being asked to become aware of yourself when you call upon Allah. Because maybe the change you are waiting for is not in the sky above, but in the sincerity beneath your chest. So tonight, don't just repeat words. Pause for a moment, feel them, mean them. Be there when you say them, because the difference between habit and transformation is presence. And maybe, just maybe, what you've been searching for all this time has been waiting for you to finally arrive inside your own heart. So now, you know the real message. It was never about a hidden word. It was about a present heart. If something in this video touched you, don't ignore it. Maybe Allah didn't bring you here by accident. Maybe this was your reminder. Tonight, when you speak to Allah, don't rush it. Be there, fully. And if your heart is still searching for more reminders like this, then stay connected, because we are not just making videos. We are trying to bring hearts back to their Lord. If you felt this, subscribe. Not for us, but for your own journey ahead.